So the other day, what many would say the greatest shooter of all time just broke the record for the most all-time threes in history. And it was no other than the New York Knicks. I'm talking about Steph Curry, the babyface assassin. Warriors ended up winning 105-96. And Steph just needed two more threes to eclipse Ray Allen for the most three-pointers in NBA history. And this is the 75th anniversary. So it's just kind of funny how things kind of come full circle. But obviously, when you think of Steph Curry, the reason why people love him so much is because obviously like the average height is like 6'6", 6'7" in the NBA, but he's considered an undersized guard. And at the same time, he's not the strongest, he's not the tallest, he's not the most athletic. But one thing that gets him over the hump over everybody else is his work ethic, which is unmatched as well too. But just to give you guys some context, Curry basically only took him 789 games to reach Ray Allen, and Ray Allen played a total of 1,300 games. Like, that's pretty insane.
It's insane, yeah.
That's wild, man. But we knew he was gonna do it. Everyone was saying like, "Oh, what quarter he's gonna do? The first quarter, second quarter." I was like, he's gonna get it out the way first quarter. Like, even if the Warriors have to dig themselves out of a hole, he is going to get that shit out the way. So now he can focus. His team can focus. The whole franchise can just focus on doing what they do best, and that's compete for a championship since his prime, honestly, as well too. And it's funny because he hit it on Alec Burks, and when I saw him hit it over Alec Burks, I was just like, damn. The first thing that came to mind was just Michael Jordan taking shit personal, the entire documentary. So I'm like, you already know that for sure there's camera people that's part of Steph's camp, and they're documenting this for sure. They've probably been documenting this for the past couple of games as well too. Obviously, he wanted to hit it at home at Oracle in front of his fans, but to do it in the Garden, where everyone kind of shows out, all the superstars go there and just wreak havoc. That was pretty amazing as well too. So Alec Burke is forever going to be cemented in history for making Steph Curry officially the greatest shooter of all time. And Steph never is the type to kind of toot his own horn or whatnot, but he was like, now that I actually achieved that milestone, I think it's safe to say I'm the best shooter of all time. So it's just kind of crazy because what separates him from everyone else is, anyone can have a set shot, anyone can come off of a screen, but it's the efficiency in which he does it because of the volume in which he does it. Also, his limitless range and the fact that he's doing it in all facets, like I'm saying, from the pin downs, coming off the screen, and off the dribble, which we have never seen before at this level as well, too. So I'm just excited for this accolade. Saying I was still on the clock, quote unquote, at work, but I was like, yo, I got to put this game on. I gotta see. I gotta see this happen live. And it was amazing to see because we're probably not going to see this for quite some time in real time. So that was awesome. But what are your thoughts on Chef Curry becoming officially the greatest shooter of all time, and then also making the most threes of all time as well?
Honestly, I'm glad I'm here to see it. First of all, to do it against Alec Burks, knowing that his jersey number is 30, you're gonna be a part of that 30-30. That's gonna go crazy. ESPN is going dummy in the studio when that shit happened. They couldn't wait. Honestly, I just think like if Ray Allen really, really was about it, he would lace them boots up right now and get back into that action and take that record back. Because he'd be working out. He could get it done. And he could probably just come back to the Heat real quick, get that record back. But, all in all, I'm glad he got it done. Clay's coming back. The Warriors are like first in offense, third in defense. It's amazing to see, yo.
Yeah, it is amazing to see. And now he's the all-time holder, and he's just going to rack up as well, too. So right now he currently has 2,977 threes, which is ridiculous because I believe this is only counting the regular season. So Lord knows how many threes combined. Him going to the finals, what he had, what was the Cavs Warriors for 4 straight years or 5 straight years? I can't even remember. But he's been to the finals just as much, it feels like, as LeBron. And that's crazy too. And just to also, let you know how much the league has changed. I'm going to my next topic that still stays within Steph Curry is Reggie Miller was getting interviewed by the TNT crew with Shaq, Kenny, Charles Barkley, all those guys, right? And Reggie Miller went on to say in his rookie year, which was the 87-88 season, the average 3-point shots attempted were 5.
Yeah,
Now,
we have to
fast
like
forward to the
then.
2021-2022 season, the average amount of 3-pointers attempt is 34 a game, which is just ridiculous as well, too. And we may never see this record be breaking again in our lifespan, but I do believe in spirituality mixed with religion, mixed with science, aka evolution. So the game is constantly evolving as well too. And one thing JJ Redick kind of mentioned in his podcast and also on First Take as well too is, right now he's top 15 on all time 3-point made list. In 10, 15 years, he's probably going to be moved to top 50 because of the amount of shots we're constantly taking.
Yeah,
It's just crazy how back in the day, everything was kind of predicated on we're going to play inside out. We're going to give the ball to our guy, our big in the post first. And if he gets out of double team, then we're going to get these 3-point shots up and whatnot. So it really wasn't stressed like that. So it's just crazy to see, if someone's going to, happen to break it. My question for you is, do you think that anyone in the league right now, I want to say either Trae Young or Buddy Hield, one of those guys were like the fastest to get to like 400 threes or something like that.
yeah.
Do you think anybody in the league right now, knowing that it's just a regular season accolade, do you think anyone can catch Steph Curry by the time they're done with their career? And obviously Steph Curry is far from over, but do you think anyone can catch his record?
I think they can definitely catch it. If we're talking about in the league right now, you're looking at Buddy Hield, Trae Young, Duncan Robinson. Duncan's in the slump right now. Buddy Hield's not on a team where he can get it done. Trae Young, Trae Young is probably the prime guy to do it, but I mean, you're not gonna do it at a clip that Steph Curry doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like you shooting from where Steph's shooting it, but you're not doing it like, you know what I'm saying? You on the Hawks right now, they're not really doing much right now. So you got to include the confidence Curry gets from going to the finals, confidence Curry gets from winning with the Warriors dynasty. If you're on the Hawks right now, you can get it, but I don't see anybody doing it. Now, if we're talking about in the next couple of years, the young guys that are going to come through the, college and G League and from high school, I can see one of them getting it because I know that I be shooting the fuck out of the ball. I don't care where I'm at. So them young boys, they gonna shoot the fuck out of the ball when they get in the league because Curry's shooting it, and they coaches is allowing them to shoot it right now too. Because if you show you can do it in practice and you show you can do it in games, just like Charles Barkley said when he went to one of the games in high school, like a month ago or two, he was like, the kids are shooting from volleyball range and stuff like that. Like, there's a kid down the line that's gonna get in the league and is gonna challenge like a Trae Young and Buddy Hield. He's gonna get to the 100 threes made, 400 threes, 500 threes made, and real quickly within his first 2 seasons, and we're gonna be like, oh, is that the kid? And there's also probably going to be another person right beside him that's going to be a candidate too. So I don't think it's going to be like a Trae Young or a Duncan or anything like that, but somebody that's probably in ninth grade right now probably got it.
Yeah. And also to give you some context as well. Buddy Hield made 4 3-pointers versus the Thunder last night in his 400th career game. So Hield has made 1,209 3-pointers made, the most in NBA history through the first 400 games of a player's career. Hield, 1,209. Steph, 1,121. Clay, 1,098. And Dame, 1,050. It's definitely doable. I don't think it's going to be Anybody in that's currently in the league right now, I think it's going to be something where you and I are probably like in our 60s or 70s. Hopefully, we've seen as much material from the back in the day to the 2000s to our current times, where we're not going to be biased towards anything as well too. So, like I said, I do believe in evolution. I think that things are only going to improve and whatnot as well too. So, I do think it's going to be someone generations from now that's going to do it, and probably do it in that fashion as well too.
I got a
But to
question
do
for
it,
you then.
but to do it, one second. But to do it,
Gotcha.
I think they're going to have to do a couple things. Obviously, with Steph, I think he spent 3 years in college. They're going to only have to minimum play 1 year in college.
Yeah.
And I think Steph at the same time as well too had ankle injuries as well. They're gonna have to basically sustain that level of health, that level of nutrition as well too. And also, are they going to be a lottery pick? They're more than likely going to have to be a lottery pick, because if you're a lottery pick, that means you're going to be on a team that's not ready made, and you're also going to have to be someone that's kind of ball dominant as well too, where they want you to shoot the ball as much as possible as well too. And like we said, from the 88-89 season, or 87-88 season, whatever season I just mentioned, to this season now, where it's skyrocketed, someone's definitely going to break that record. But I'm just interested to see who. And I know that someone is someone that was on the couch yesterday watching this dude and just mirroring his entire game out of this guy as well too. But back to you. What was your question?
Do you think, because you're talking about evolution, I mean, Steph Curry shoots it from deep, Trae Young shoots it from deep. Do you think they would add a 4-point line later down the line? Do you think that would be good? Do you think you can see them doing it like an Adam Silver, or let me just get your thoughts.
Um, that's an interesting point. I definitely think it would definitely water down the 3-point line to the 3-point shot attempt. Um, but I guess if you're trying to be hella progressive and you're trying to increase revenue, increase the likes, the consumption rate, all that stuff, then I guess it would be cool. But at the same time, I like how things are. I'm very progressive, but there's just certain things you just don't tinker with. Like it already gave me enough anxiety, and I already adapted to it now with the whole playing tournament. Um, so let's put a pause on that. I know now they're talking about doing tournaments mid-season as well too, kind of like the Premier League with soccer, or just soccer in general outside the United States. And then they were talking about potentially having top 8 teams in the East, top 8 teams in the West, and then merging them to create a new playoff
I
structure.
fuck with that, bro.
So there's definitely a lot of things to kind of take into consideration. I think those would probably happen first before the 4-point line. But that would be kind of crazy, especially if you're down for you in the playoffs and or down 3 and doing the game. You just got to go for a half court shot. And we're seeing Steph, and like I said, we're seeing Curry. I mean, seeing Dame do stuff like that as well too. But yeah, man, that's definitely a food for thought. What's your thought on that?
I mean, I don't want it to happen. That'd be, honestly, it'd be too much. You'd have to change every court in America. I'm not trying to do all that. You know what I'm saying? But if they do that, I ain't coming near the paint ever again. I promise you that. I'm staying back there, shooting the fuck out the ball like everybody else. It's gonna ruin it though. You know what
And
I'm
like
saying?
and like what would that even look like, right? Because we have obviously the corner threes are a little shorter than the top of the key. Like, how
Yeah.
would you even map out that 4-point line? You know what I'm saying? So
It
it's
would
definitely something
probably
to think about.
it would be volleyball line.
Mm-hmm.
It would be right there, and then you'd have to outline like a half circle right there. I mean, it's doable, but it probably would look really tacky,
Yeah.
and it would just be bad for the game in general.
So I think now it's just one of those things. Now it's like, all right, like you've been declared the greatest shooter of all time. You there's a huge chance you're going to win your third MVP as well too, all-time NBA, numerous finals appearances, yada yada yada. But I think for the critics, the last thing that's on their mind is, all right, you don't have KD anymore, and then before KD, Iguodala was the Finals MVP. Are you going to have those moments now where when you have that fully healthy squad in which you mentioned having Wiseman come back, having Clay come back, and you go through these deep playoff runs as well too, and you're facing adversity, are you going to be the person where you say, all right, give me the ball, let me go to work? Are you gonna get through that? So that's something definitely that I'm curious to see moving forward for sure.